So your organization just implemented Microsoft 365, but you don't have the training resources or you don't have the training availability for people to go ahead and train users on how to use the tool. Being able to leverage Microsoft Learning Pathways will allow you to just go ahead into your Microsoft tenant and turn on the SharePoint site that allows you to showcase good training materials that is provided by Microsoft and updated on a consistent basis. This allows you to free up your time from going and doing hands-on training, creating this organizational culture and learning culture that allows for users to know exactly where they can go to find key information that's going to be important to the new technology change of M365. A lot of users who use Microsoft 365 Learning Pathways, who are new to Microsoft 365 or who are just trying to refresh their memory on some of those key information that is important to the work they do, find that the Microsoft Learning Pathways is a really great tool that helps give them the necessary information they need to do the work they do effectively with the Microsoft technology at their fingertips. I'm excited because in this video, I'm going to show you how to turn on your Microsoft Learning Pathways inside of your organization so users can have access to that key Microsoft Learning technology information that is provided to you by the source, Microsoft itself. At the end of this video, you're probably going to become a Microsoft Learning Pathway ninja, and you will be able to turn that on and start using it for yourself. One thing to keep in mind is that to turn on Microsoft Learning Pathway in your environment, you have to have admin access. Okay, so if you don't have admin access, let your admin team know about this training video and how to turn it on, and they can turn it on for you. All right, let's begin and explore how to go ahead and start working with Microsoft Learning Pathways. All right, the first thing you want to do is that you want to go to lookbook.microsoft.com. This is going to take you to the lookbook for SharePoint templates that you can actually leverage. Why? Why go through creating sites from scratch when you can actually scroll into this lookbook experience here and find a specific lookbook or specific SharePoint site that works for you that you can go ahead and kind of download and start using inside of your organizational tenant. Once we get into this site, we're going to go into solutions over here. And in solutions, you have different selection of different solutions that you can go ahead and start leveraging right now. But the key one we're going to be focusing on is going to be in this one over here, the Microsoft 365 Learning Pathways. We're going to go ahead and click on that. All right, it's going to take us into this area over here in which it's going to suggest if we want to add it to our tenant. We're going to click on Add to your tenant. Beautiful. We're almost done here. As you can see, very quick steps to add in our Microsoft 365 Learning Pathways. In this area, we're going to be looking at the SharePoint provisioning service. And in here, we're going to just verify that the email is the right email and that this information here, this is going to be the URL. We're just going to leave it as is. And we're just going to scroll down over here and click on provision. So once your site is done, you're going to have this link that you can go ahead and click. When you click on this link, you'll be able to access your Microsoft Learning Pathways that looks like this. So as you can see, here we are. We've finally been able to kind of create that Microsoft Learning Pathways for our organization to be able to leverage some of the Microsoft Learning content that already exists. A beautiful thing about this is that it updates itself consistently. So if there are any changes or any new applications that Microsoft just pushed out, the content inside of this site is going to get updated. All right, let's flow through the content on the site and let's look at the key things that we want to kind of know. So from the get-go, we're going to see these categories, okay? The first thing is you don't have to stick with these hero categories here. If you want to kind of go ahead and change some of those heroes and maybe input a hero that directs to content that you've already created inside of the organization, you can go ahead and click on this edit button over here and you can edit the hero. For example, if I wanted to take out this work remote information over here, I can click over here and I can just go ahead and edit it and change the information. For example, I can change the title here. I can go ahead and call it organizational culture. Okay. And I can go ahead and change the link for this specific hero. Okay, so we can actually go ahead and change the information here as we like. So go ahead and explore that. Let's jump into the actual content inside of the Microsoft 365 learning pathways. The first content here is the start with six simple steps. So this is really going to be an area in which the user is going to be able to kind of get those 6 simple steps that they can start working with M365. If they click on the drop down over here, they'll be able to see the sign in. It gives them a little video here on how they can sign into M365, the create and save, how they can create and save documents, share and collaborate, how they can share and collaborate. Okay, and then finally other steps here, we have work with a team. We have set up mobile apps. So this allows for your users to know how to set up their mobile apps, okay? And also try new things, all right? So these are the different try new things specific to the different applications that exist that they can kind of flow through and learn some of those key content is going to be important to them, all right? If I go back to the home page, one of the key areas here that we're going to be focusing on is going to be the Microsoft 365 training. If you click on this, we're going to have access to all these great Microsoft 365 trainings that exist for each and every single one of the applications inside of Microsoft. All right, so we have Outlook, we have OneDrive, we have Word, we have all those key applications here that we want users to kind of get familiarized with, all right? So in this case, if a user is interested in, we just migrated into M365 and they're very interested in knowing what are some of those key features inside of OneDrive, for example, they can come over here, click on OneDrive, and in here you have the different trainings that the user can kind of consume. For example, over here, OneDrive Quick Start. If I click over here, I'll have all these key information that I can consume, all right? That the user can consume, and they can actually go ahead, click over here and be able to kind of navigate through all the key information about OneDrive. Upload files, for example, they can learn how to upload files here. They can learn how to manage their files. They can learn how to collaborate with OneDrive, all right? And also they can learn how to set up mobile apps and work on the go. So all these key content, the user can come in here and learn very quickly how to work with OneDrive. If you want to go back into that area where we have all our applications, just click on the home button over here, and then we're back in there. As you can see, Microsoft has actually created these learning content that we can leverage. And it's really great because now you don't have to necessarily start doing virtual trainings. You would set up this site, okay, design it in a way that maybe you have your company logo, you have the necessary information that showcases this as your company experience, all right? So then you can have the ability for users to come in here and consume the key information. Say, for example, if they're looking to Excel, for example, they wanted to know what are some of those key different tools that exist inside of Excel instead of M365, okay? They can come in here and kind of navigate those key tools, all right? Really great content for users to be able to consume. All right, let's go back into the home. And I just want to show you, if I am in a situation, if you're in a situation in which you want to kind of change some of the content that is inside of this Microsoft Learning Pathway. All right, say for example, maybe you are taking your adoption in a phase approach in which you're implementing Outlook and you're implementing OneDrive, but you're not turning on other things like SharePoint or Access. So you want to kind of take this out of the user's view. What you can do is you can go ahead and click on this wheel over here. It's the settings wheel. If I click on that, okay, it's going to take me to the settings for that site itself. So the view of that site we're looking at. So you can see what we had with these 3 categories. We had let me go back in there. I can show you that. So what we had were the 3 categories. So we had the get started, we had scenarios, and we had the products, okay? So when we go into the settings over here, we have those 3 categories that we can actually edit. Okay, we have the get started, we have the scenarios, and we have the products, all right? So in this case, I wanted to take out, because my organization hasn't implemented Access yet, and maybe I don't want Access to be in front of the user's attention. So I can click on Access, scroll up, and you see this eye icon over here. This allows us to hide Access application instead of Microsoft 365 Learning Pathways. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on that. All right, it saves. All right, and now if I go back to the Microsoft 365 learnings, okay, you can see now that access no longer exists as part of that training itself. All right. So if you're in a situation where you need to kind of go ahead and edit the necessary products in here, you can go ahead and click on that. Okay. And you'll be able to kind of edit it directly from here. All right. The same thing goes for the rest of the products. You have OneDrive, for example. If I click on OneDrive, I'll be able to see the different things that are showcased in OneDrive. If I wanted to hide any content, again, I just click that eye icon and I'll be able to hide the content. In the situation in which you're trying to add a customized content to one of those products, for example, your organization has created a virtual learning experience or virtual learning training with users, and that was recorded, and you want to kind of add it onto the OneDrive content. What you can do is you can use this plus sign over here that allows you to add a new playlist. You're going to click on the plus sign. And this allows you to go ahead and add a new playlist. For example, if this was the virtual OneDrive training, okay, I can actually go ahead and input that here. The title, I can input a description. All you need to know, for example, and then I can select technology. It's OneDrive, all right. And you can see it's a technology selected up here. I can choose an image, all right. If I was to choose an image, I can go into the recent, or I go into the site images. I can go ahead and upload an image. I can upload an image from a file here if I wanted to, okay. Or I can upload it from a link, okay. So you can go ahead and explore choosing an image there for this one specifically, okay. And then if I scroll the way down, I'm going to put what the level of learning is. Is it a beginner, intermediate? In this case, since it's a full, all you need to know about OneDrive, we can call it intermediate here. And then the audience, we can put it all right? But you can see it breaks down the audience to different specific people here, different specific groups. We have VIP, executive assistants, change managers, okay, content managers, all right? And then once we're done, we can go ahead and save the detail. All right, so I've inputted a title here, a little bit of a description. I can go ahead and select an image for my training here. I can click on the documents, go ahead and select this OneDrive image, give it a little bit of an image here. And if I scroll the way down over here, as you can see, we can go ahead and save details, okay, as soon as we've kind of selected exactly what that is. And then over here, what we can actually do is we're going to add the asset. So the asset is going to be when the user goes ahead and clicks on that, what are they going to see? Are they going to see, in this case, we can go ahead and input the title of the asset. So we can say virtual training, okay? And then the technology itself, we're going to select OneDrive for the technology. And in here, it suggests that you can create an asset page, or you can enter a specific URL to that specific training video or that specific training link. Okay, so I can go ahead and click on this asset page because I actually want to create an asset page. All right, and I'm just going to go ahead and save that asset. All right, beautiful. So now I've created the asset page. If I go in here, you can see I can open the page, and in here is where I can go ahead and maybe I can edit the asset page. I can give it a little bit of an image here at the top, go into my stock images. I can select, I can just input training here. Okay, see what comes up. And let's see over here, it's a lot of training here. We can just use this, for example. Okay. And then I can go ahead and input the actual web part with, in this case, maybe I want to just use a link. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put link here. All right. And in this case, I can use this link over here. I can go ahead and paste the link. And this is just an example of how you can paste that link. And then once you've actually inputted the link, you can go ahead and publish that. This is not the OneDrive training, but this just gives you an idea of what you can do with that information here. And when the user comes in over here, they can click this link to your training and be able to consume it. All right. So what does this look like if the user comes in, selects OneDrive now? Over here, you can see we have that customized virtual OneDrive training, all you need to know. Okay, if they click on it, they get into that page that you've created. All right, you can do this with any other training content over here. If your organization goes ahead and publicizes virtual trainings that you did specific to your organizational environment for M365, for any of these applications, you can actually leverage these areas and you can add, customize that specific training and add it onto the content here that users can consume. All right, beautiful. Here's another thing that I want to kind of bring to your attention. If you want to understand how your site is doing and how people are using your site, more than anything, understanding the user adoption aspect of your site, you can go ahead and explore the analytics over here. Analytics is going to exist inside of every single one of the M365 SharePoint experience and also in your team's experience, okay? And you're going to be able to kind of see exactly what the page viewers, you're going to see what changes occurred in the last 90 days, in the last 7 days. You can kind of see the average amount of time spent. So this becomes a really good tool for you to kind of get some measurements and analytics and how users are consuming this product. So when you go ahead and report back to the organization executives, you can say, well, we migrated into M365. We created these learning pathways, customized it to our organization, changed the logo so that it looked like the look and feel of our organization. And we actually been able to kind of track how users have been using this site. And you can kind of use this data over here to report back to them, okay? All right, finally, if you're someone who is the admin for this, I would definitely suggest you go into the Admin Success Center. The Admin Success Center will really kind of give you some key information here of how you can actually leverage this Microsoft 365 learning pathways and as an admin optimize key aspects of adoption, how to drive adoption, how to plan your content, how to customize the pathways, how to measure impact. For example, if I click on drive adoption over here, we have the different categories here. This one is just one category of drive adoption of learning pathways. If you scroll down, you'll be able to get some key information on how do you create impact, how do you use downloadable adoption kit, and all that key information. All right. In another video, we're going to be creating a SharePoint site specific to a learning site, and we're going to be leveraging this Microsoft Learning Pathways and combining it with our current organizational SharePoint site. I'm going to show you how to create that SharePoint site, leverage Microsoft Learning Pathways, and create that learning center where users can come in and consume key information that's going to be important to them. All right, beautiful. Have yourselves a beautiful day. Let's keep going. Thanks for tuning in. If you're ready to master change in technology, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and let's navigate the future together, one video at a time. I'll see you in the next one.